Hi there, beautiful family. Well, it's been a while since I've jumped in here with a bit of an energy update, and I wanted to do so now as some of you may be feeling some pretty electrified and intense energies at the moment, and maybe wondering why. There are so many cosmic events that are continuously going on, as we know, that are giving us whatever it is that we may need personally for the old stuff to be cleared, to be alchemized and brought to the surface, to be seen, so that it can be cleared out in preparation for what we are receiving and for what we are about to receive even more of. And really the key to being able to receive this is to be in a space of sacred neutrality, because often we place our desires for what we want to believe and overlay those onto what is actually coming through for us, individually, personally, and on behalf of the collective. With so much information out there about all of the different things, it's also very easy for us to always be looking outward for someone to tell us rather than to be able to feel and hear our own truth. So everything that is occurring cosmically is, of course, as always and as always has been, happening for us. We have an extra little player on the scene at the moment, and some of you may have heard of it. It's called 3i Atlas. There is a lot of debate about what this being actually is. Some people think that it's a comet. Others think that it's some kind of AI or ET, probably more accurately. And then there's those of us, myself included, that believe it is a source of consciousness and intelligence that carries the memory, the divine memory, the codes and the blueprint of the beginning of our galaxy, our universe actually. This object entered into our solar system, another star system. It is behaving in very interesting ways that are not like anything that has ever been seen before. And how we might be feeling it, especially since October 21st. On October 21st, there was a very, very powerful alignment that happened between this object that they call 3i Atlas, our moon, and our sun. So if you remember, on October 21st, we actually had the new moon. Not long before that, it made an alignment with the planet of Mars. So for me, from the October new moon, there was a very, very tangible shift in frequency. All of a sudden, it became very challenging for me to sleep. And a feeling of being totally electrified, as though kind of hit by lightning, and noticing a lot of, let's call it, movement happening on the inside, and as always, as a reflection of that, noticing that the chaos is kind of escalating on the outside as well. So when we are receiving these high frequency energies, the degree to which we resist them coming into our being to do the intelligent work that they're here to do is really the amount to which we will experience the discomfort. It's kind of that simple. And what happened on October 21st with that alignment between the new moon, the earth, and the sun, with the 3i Atlas, created kind of like a 0 point, a field where in that alignment, it opened a portal or a gateway. This is how it feels for me anyway, for a preparation to take place for one of what feels like the many initiation points, graduation points that this stellar being is going to offer us. As it's coded with, as I said, divine intelligence and living memory from when our galaxy was first birthed, it has an ability to be able to transmit to us this remembering also. In Quechua we call it yuyei. It's not about learning something new, but actually remembering what it is that we already know. Interestingly, remember, to remember means to bridge. It means to bring together. So for me, these cosmic beings, this quantum intelligence, is opening us even more to the ancient wisdom. It's kind of like a remembering or a rebridging or a remerging of the ancient intelligence of the earth, even the inner earth, to the cosmic intelligence that is shaping our galaxy, and that we, when we are in our full awakened consciousness, are operating as. Rather than consciousness being within the body, we are body within a consciousness, and we are being woken up to remember that we are that divine intelligence. So it brings awakening and remembering. And there's a cycle, or a phase, I should say, that it's moving through at the moment, where it is preparing in itself to go through its own initiation into what's called a perihelion. And a perihelion means the point where this beautiful being from the center of centers will pass very, very close to our sun, the closest it's going to get. It will disappear. It has already disappeared behind the sun. So we're not able to see it exactly right at the moment. But when it goes through its perihelion, any comet that goes through its perihelion is when we're able to visibly see the effects that the sun is having on this object. And in that alchemy, in that transformation, in the transmutation, it emerges from the other side of the sun as a different being. We're already seeing, and I'm not talking, this is not a New Age woo-woo, this is measured science, where they're already seeing that the sun is shooting solar flares towards this being. Not in an act of retaliation or get away from me, but actually in a divine conversation, in a communion with this being, activating perhaps what is truly there for us to be received. So if you've been feeling, particularly since this last new moon, since the 21st of October, very wired, like your sleep is a little bit crazy, short, perhaps disturbed, or maybe like you don't need as much sleep. Maybe you're not getting the sleep, but you still feel like you have energy, which is strange because you shouldn't, because of the tiny amount of sleep you're getting. Or perhaps you're feeling really cranky and crusty because the energy is so electrified and overstimulating that it can also fray the nervous system a little bit and make you feel a little more on edge than you normally would. You might notice yourself reacting more fierily or more quickly to things. And, you know, it's going to be received by everybody differently, but I myself have noticed a very, very palpable shift. So usually if I'm noticing something, it's happening collectively because I'm a part of the collective, right? And I'm a super mega highly sensitive being, so I tend to feel things in a very, very heightened way. My sense is that come October 29, when 3i Atlas makes its perihelion, we are going to feel a massive shift. It'll be a huge pop through, similar to how it feels after an eclipse season, similar but different. And I think everything's going to settle, and there'll be a level of restfulness and nervous system reset in that. You know, because on that day of the 21st, we had the emotional body being the moon energies. We had the conscious body being the solar energies. And we had the cosmic body, you know, the ethereal body, all coming into that alignment, opening, as I said before, that very powerful portal or vortex for us to step into, so that we go into almost this highly charged chrysalis state. I guess for some, they could be feeling it as wipe out. You know, for me, I'm experiencing it in the opposite. It definitely feels like a chrysalis state. but it feels like a supercharged chrysalis state. It's like a rewiring or a reactivation of the DNA. We're not just talking about the DNA on a physical level, we're talking about the morphogenetic field and all of the energetic imprints in the DNA. And again, the key to being able to receive these shifts and changes, upgrades, whatever you want to call them, is to not resist them. The more we resist, then the more intense the process can become. And I would even invite you to get curious and excited about what this means for us and the changes that are happening within you. So, after the 29th, after it goes through its perihelion, who knows? Let's see what happens next. But in that moment when 3i Atlas is activated, I just see it like a, oh wow, how do I even explain it? Like the most angelic stream of light, codes, wisdom, information that will be directed like Sagittarius. Oh, P.S. it comes from the constellation of Sagittarius, of course, as I'm saying this. Like Sagittarius, the archer pulling back its bow with a very, very direct delivery of this wisdom and this information. But let's see. For me, what I feel to be of the most importance for us to receive the most from this is to take a moment to drop in and connect to this great sentient being and this master of light and see what it has for us, what it has for you, what is the message, the directive, the channeling that this great being has for you, because we are really getting to a point more and more where our channeling is opening, and it's not just a few that can do this. It's an innate intelligence that is alive within each and every one of us, and it's a willingness to open to the higher self and give permission to the higher self to connect to these great beings of light, because the higher self knows. The higher self knows exactly who to connect to, and in the most profound way, clearest way, safest way. And as I said before, this sacred neutrality, so we're not overlaying our ideas of what we think or what we have heard it should be, but rather receive it for ourselves, so that the wisdom that we receive is very unique and specific to us to take into our own lives, and also to help us help our families and communities by bringing that wisdom and that energy, even just the energy of the being, into our relationships with our families and our communities too. So with that, I would love to invite you to come and join me this Wednesday on the 29th of October for a little impromptu, free, totally free ceremony, meditation, activation, receiving, where collectively we can drop in and slow our central nervous system down, come back into that place of sacred neutrality, connect to the wisdom of our higher self, and then in the moment of its perihelion, connect into the profound intelligence of 3i Atlas that has a very unique and special message that is just for you. So if you'd like to join me, I would love to see you there. We will do this on Wednesday, the 29th of October. And all you need to do is just click the link and sign on up. We'll send you the link for the free call, and let's see what magic comes through after just having completed the Temple of Returning and seeing what happens when we truly open to receiving this divine intelligence, this wisdom that comes through, and listening to it, acting on it, being guided by it. It's truly remarkable. I mean, wow. I mean, there's confirmation. You can't see it from here, but when I said that, the wind all just came up. It's truly remarkable, the miracles that we were seeing in that container. And it's there for all of us to receive from. It's not something that somebody can tell you, although many will try, but rather guide you to receiving this for yourself. And of course, as always, it becomes much more powerful when we do this together in a group as a collective, because we really activate the energy. So if you want to join me, I will see you there. Otherwise, I'll record it and I will pop it up on YouTube, both the recording of the session and of course the guided process as well, that you can do anytime and in your own time. Even after the 29th has passed, it will still be incredible to connect to the cosmic intelligence and the divine intelligence of this beautiful being, benevolent being. There's a lot of people out there saying that it's malevolent. I think that is absolutely not true. My feeling does not say that at all. It's totally the opposite. But you will know what it is for you. So I invite you to join me and hope to see you there. Thanks so much, everyone. And whatever you're moving through, know that you're not alone. And it's like you're on the surfboard and you're dropping the weight so that you can become a pro surfer. You're doing a great job. All my love. Bye for now. Tupunanchis kama.